I would like to welcome you in my YouTube channel Shakil Sir Physics. As you know that we have started oscillations chapter. So in that series today we are going to see simple pendulum. Now what is a simple pendulum? So in that we have to see two things. One is ideal simple pendulum, another is practical simple pendulum. Now what is ideal simple pendulum? Ideal simple pendulum is nothing but it is a heavy particle suspended by massless, inextensible and flexible string from a rigid support. What is an ideal simple pendulum? A heavy particle suspended by a massless, inextensible and flexible string from a rigid support. Now, if we will think about it, then we will find that it is not possible for us to get a heavy particle. If it is a particle, then it will not be heavy, and we can't get a string which is massless. Therefore, in practice, we cannot realize an ideal simple pendulum. So, in place of ideal simple pendulum, we use practical simple pendulum. Now, what is a practical simple pendulum? So, in place of a heavy particle, what we are doing? We are taking a small heavy dense sphere which is also called as bob, and we are suspending that bob with the help of a light and inextensible string from a rigid support. So, by doing this we can get or we can realize practical simple pendulum. So, here you can see I have taken one bob, a small heavy bob, and I have suspended it from a rigid support with the help of a light string. So, in this way this is nothing but a practical simple pendulum. Now, when it is displaced from its position, it performs oscillations. So, after this we will see how to find time period of this simple pendulum. Now, we will try to find expression for time period of a simple pendulum. Just now we have seen what is a practical simple pendulum. Now, see this figure. Here we have taken a simple pendulum in which we have taken a bob of mass m. Now, this bob is suspended from a rigid support. Here capital L, it is the length of simple pendulum, and this length is nothing but it is the distance between point of suspension and center of gravity of the bob. So, when bob is in its mean position, that means when no external force is acting on it, so this position is A. Now, if we will displace this bob from its position and then relax it or leave it, then this bob will perform oscillations. Here one thing should be taken into account, that oscillations which we are giving to the bob should be small, amplitude of oscillation should be small. So, what we have done here? Here we have displaced this bob from its mean position and then release. So, this bob is performing oscillations. Now, when bob is at point B in the displaced position, so in this position forces acting on the bob are two. First, it is the weight of the bob which is acting vertically downward. Second, tension in the string which is directed toward the point of suspension. Now, here tension and weight of the bob. So, we can resolve weight of the bob into two components. One component is mg cos theta and second component is mg cos theta. Mg cos theta and mg sin theta. Now, what this mg cos theta is doing? Mg cos theta is balancing tension in the string, and this mg sin theta is acting as a restoring force. It will try to bring this bob back to its mean position. So, this mg sin theta component is nothing but simply restoring force, and here x is the displacement of the bob from its mean position. So we can write here F or restoring force as F is equals to minus mg sin theta. Now here negative sign is there. Why? Because bob is getting displaced in this direction, that is towards positive extremity or towards point B, and this force is acting exactly opposite to it, and it is trying to bring back the bob in its mean position or original position. That's why here we have written negative sign. Force and displacement, they are oppositely directed. Now here we assume that the oscillations given to the bob, they are small. That means theta is small. So when theta is small, as theta is small, so at that time we can take sin theta approximately equal to theta. Therefore, equation 1 will become F is equals to minus mg theta. Now for a small amplitude or for small oscillations, we can write this theta is equals to, for a small amplitude, we can write theta is equals to x upon L. From this triangle, for example, this is nothing but point O, OAB, we can take theta as x upon L. So if we substitute this value in equation 2, then we will get F is equals to minus mg x upon L. So here what is m? M is the mass of the bob, g is acceleration due to gravity, L is length of the simple pendulum. These three things are constant. So what is changing? Only displacement of the bob. It will depend upon oscillation given to the bob. So from this we can write as m, g and L are constant. Therefore F is proportional to minus x. So restoring force is directly proportional to the displacement of the bob from mean position, and they are oppositely directed. Negative sign indicate that force and displacement are opposite to each other. Therefore we can say that this bob is performing simple harmonic motion because it has satisfied this condition of F is proportional to minus x. Now we will try to find equation or expression for time period of a simple pendulum. That means how much time is taken by simple pendulum to perform one oscillation. How to find it? So for that purpose, as we know, time period is given by time period t is equals to 2 pi upon omega. This we have seen in the previous lectures. Now we can also write this time period as t is equals to 2 pi upon, in place of omega we can write acceleration for unit displacement. Acceleration per unit displacement can be written for omega. Now we will use equation number 2 for finding time period. So as we know, equation number 2 is F is equals to minus mg theta, or theta is equals to x upon L. So by using this equation also we can find expression for time period. So as F is equals to minus mg x upon L, I will give it equation number 3. So directly we will use equation 3. So as equation 3, F is equals to minus mg x upon L. So we will consider here magnitude. If we consider only magnitude, then F is equals to mg x upon L. Now we also know that from Newton's second law of motion, F is equals to ma. So if we will compare these two equations, then we will get mg x upon L is equals to ma. So here m and m will get cancelled. So what we will get for A? A is equals to g x upon L, or A upon x is equals to g upon L. Now what is A upon x? Acceleration per unit displacement. This is nothing but acceleration per unit displacement. So this value we can substitute in time period equation. So as we know, t is equals to 2 pi upon omega, and t is equals to, in place of omega we have written acceleration per unit displacement. So directly we can write g upon L. So t is equals to 2 pi square root g upon L, or if we rearrange it, then we will get t is equals to 2 pi square root of L upon g. So this is nothing but an expression for time period of a simple pendulum. So from this equation it is clear that time period of a simple pendulum is depending upon length of the simple pendulum and acceleration due to gravity. Here there is no m, small m, that is mass of the bob. It means that time period is independent of mass of the bob. So from this equation we can derive laws of simple pendulum. So in short we will see that laws of simple pendulum. So laws of simple pendulum. So first law will be, as 2 pi is constant, we can say t is directly proportional to square root of L. That is, time period of a simple pendulum is directly proportional to square root of the length. Second law, t is proportional to 1 upon square root of g if L is constant. Here g is constant, here L is constant. Time period is inversely proportional to the square root of acceleration due to gravity. Third, time period is independent of mass. Time period is independent of mass of the bob. And fourth, time period is independent of amplitude, provided that amplitude of oscillations is small. So thank you very much. In the next lecture we will see angular simple harmonic motion.